this level of comfort or these things to deliver what they're looking for, what is needed. I don't think there's a problem asking for that. I just think it's how you do it. Design anymore.
Oh, wow.
But he is, hey, can you make my wedding dress? The first collection I did was made out of bandana. I was thinking, like, bandana is an accessory. People wear it in their pockets. They might put it as, like, around their neck.
Sorry, we're having a little intermission where we open a gift. Oh, I love your branding on your bag. Wow. Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Anna Unscripted. Today we have a special guest. His name is
Kambe Lovelace. Hi guys.
So Kambe and I go a while back. I think you should tell them.
How we met?
Because you remember this more than me.
You, right? Okay, I think it was 2016 or 2017.
2016.
2016, and you were modeling, right? So for all those who don't know, so West Mall had like these two shows every year, these two major fashion shows. So the entire mall will come together and put on this fashion show, right? Run by Christopher Nathan. So for that year, I was a senior fashion stylist, right? I was 22 at the time. And so I was the youngest ever, right?
And I was young. I think I was probably 18. I was still in secondary school.
Yeah, still in secondary school, baby Anna, right? And it's a lot of models and a lot of clothes.
I was studying for my CAPE exam the day of the launch, the day of the actual fashion show. Because I remember going in the back and like studying. I can't even remember what CAPE exam I had. That was that following week.
What the hell? How were you doing both of that?
But up to this day, I still do that craziness.
That shows you do multitask. You do a lot of things at the same time, right?
I need to deep dive with that with my therapist.
You do.
We said we had to work on that in therapy because that's not normal.
Yeah, compartmentalize a little bit more, right?
It's not normal.
Yeah, but that's insane that you were able to do that on the fashion show because you had a lot of looks, right? Because I was your stylist. So I just remember, and that's why I remembered you, right? Because it was a very busy time.
And I think that was also like my very big fashion show. I think that's why I told my parents, like, I promise I will study and balance everything. Like,
together, okay.
This is gonna make or break me. Like, I have to do this.
Walking in Westmall is gonna make or break you.
At that point, yes, because also I was short compared to the models.
That is true, but I remember liking you because of your spunk. So I immediately saw your personality. And I think that's why I kind of opted to work with you. And that's why I remembered you to this day. And like the specific incident that happened, I remember like you were, is it London Clothing Company? I think it was. And I remember you had on a grey dress, a black belt, and a black bag, right?
I still remember that.
Yes.
I had loved that look.
It was cute, right? And these heels. And I just remember you like, I need to put on this belt, but I was dealing with somebody else. So I just kind of like, literally, it's my fault. I just like placed the belt around you. I was like, you need to go on the runway, right? And forgot about you. I was doing my job. And then you came back and you tapped me on the shoulder, right? And you were like, here, look, your belt fall off.
And you know, you always tell me this. I just feel like I was so rude.
Yeah, but it was like, I was like, who is this child telling me that my belt fall off? And I would never forget it. But it wasn't that rude to me. You like said it with like a kind of smirk. And so I appreciated that because it kind of like broke the ice. And I would like, not to be like an adult or anything, but like in a...
We're adults now, okay?
Oh, I hate that. But like in a group of people like that, right? Because like, as you say, you're one of the shortest ones and there are like all these models around. Like, that's how you get remembered. Because like that moment translated to so many other things that we've worked together on. And
it's true.
Yeah, you know? So like, I'm almost like, this is the girl that did that. And other than just like your face and stuff, like if I ever needed somebody to show up and give a personality moment, that I could call you and you'd show up and do that. So yeah, like I think that was like meant to be in some ways.
No, it was. It really, really was. Because I think if that moment didn't happen, I think you're gonna remember
really that much. Cause I remember like when we were working.
Because also a lot of people had experience there. Because I remember going to that casting. And my sister came to the casting as well.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh my gosh, like all these girls are like professional models. This is my first time on the runway. I don't even know how to walk properly.
No, but you did a good job. I remember.
And I remember like somebody in the room saying like, you're short. And I was like, yeah, like one of the persons on the panel. And I was just like, yeah, they're not going to pick me. I'm like, I'm too short for this.
No, but you did a good job. From what I remember at least, but maybe my recollection's a bit biased. It was kind of like sink or swim, I think, for both of us, because again, that was like, I was 22 and starting the entire fashion show, and it really was
Which was a big production.
a big production. Like every day I was in West Mall, and I remember like
Because we also had training
for hours and hours
for like 2 days straight.
straight. And like I remember like I would get there when the mall opens, and I'd leave there when the mall closes. I had like literal assistants, like fashion assistants, going to the different stores. Like if there's a fire to
To be honest, I actually think that was the biggest fashion production that ever took place in Trinidad. Did they still have that?
No, I think our year was the second to last year.
Like that was one of the biggest productions of ever. Maybe there's more and I never like.
Don't know.
Yeah, but just to manage a whole mall,
It's insane.
and you had models from kids to teenagers to adults to like older people.
So Wendy fits a little young.
Yeah, they had
what are
like
we
so
doing?
much. Because I
Yeah.
remember like we were in rooms and it was makeup artists, hair, dress, everybody like taught tea, and it was just from the time it was go time, it was go until
Till
the
it's
last
done,
job.
yeah. It was quite insane, and I mean I styled before because like Christopher, so you know, remember Naomi Chinwing?
Yes.
So he called me to style her for some portfolio shots, and that's how I got that job. But I was like, I think the moment I worked with her, I was still like little baby stylist, like doing the thing. And then he was just like,
And she did so well.
she did so well, right? With some portfolio shots that I styled. I mean, if she claims it, she claims it. If she doesn't, she doesn't, right? But I know I was there, and I know I did the shoot, right? And yeah, and I remember, so I was like, oh, well, I guess I'll just work on this show or whatever. I was like, it's another job. And then he sat me down, he's like, hey, okay, so you're going to be the senior fashion stylist. Thinking also in my head, sure, there'll be other senior fashion stylists. And he's like, this is the dossier, this is your team, I have to go this way. And I said, oh, okay. And then when I realized, oh, I'm the senior fashion stylist, I was like, shoot me. And then like, I just kind of like, you know, imposter syndrome, I don't want to come in. And I remember going to the toilet. It was like 10 a.m., nobody was there except the cleaner. I went to the store and I said, you could do this, like I've been in fashion since I was like 16. I was like, there's no way you're messing up this opportunity at all, right? And then, yeah, I just kind of like hit the ground running, so.
It was like, what is your journey like? Have you always been a stylist?
No.
Where are you now? So give us a timeline.
So I'll give you a timeline, a quick timeline, because I mean, I know I look like 25, but I recently turned 30, right?
We're getting old, you know, I'm going to be 29.
You're going to be 29?
Yeah.
What are you going to do for your 30th? What do you think?
That's quite next year.
Oh, okay, what are you doing for your 29th? You
I don't know yet. You know
Yeah.
what? Like, I don't want to face the fact that I'm going to be 29.
Because 28 is such a good number.
It feels like so
too.
young because like most of my friends are older than me.
Oh, okay.
So when I say like I'm 29, they're like, wait, you're a baby. And then I'm just like, am I really? But then when people ask me my age, I'm like, I'm 29.
Yeah, it kind of hits you, but
Like 30 is a milestone.
it is, right? But like, I feel like 30 is not what it used to be long time.
Can be,
Yeah.
I don't care if 30 is not how it used to be long time. I'm supposed to be married, have 2 kids, have a house.
No, but you're a career woman. Look at you.
I also supposed to be doing very well in my career. I feel like I'm winging my career right now, but I feel like I still need to be like further.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I feel like sometimes I'm so hard on myself.
Okay.
So I'm like, I need to achieve these things, like, and that's like where I go and I compare myself to people.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh, this person is like 30, they have it all figured out, and I'm just like,
No.
I know starting over a relationship. I just started over a job.
That is true.
I finally did my podcast after like dilly
Because you
dallying
did
for
tell me
2
about
years.
this, yeah, a while ago.
Yeah, because when we did that interview last year, I told you like I want to do this. Like I love.
And I was like, yeah.
I somehow still want to be a TV host.
That could still happen. This is the
I'm
gateway
like,
to
where am
that.
I fitting all these
No,
things
you
in?
can do it. And like, as somebody who has worked, I guess, in this industry for a while, like, it's all smoke and mirrors. Like, it's all, I mean, there are literally wires behind here, right? So it's smoke and mirrors. And I think, like, because I've worked, like, in fashion, in marketing, and yes, I know I'm supposed to do the rundown, but like working with people in different fields that do these sorts of things, like I feel like very few people have that sort of timeline trajectory, and even if they do, often it doesn't go according to plan. I would say unbiasedly, as somebody who's like on the outside looking in, I think what you've been able to accomplish literally with your own two hands and your camera is really, really remarkable. And I would give you kudos for that.
I'm doing this at this morning.
Yeah, but nah, like give yourself some props and stuff. Like you are doing a good job. And I think too, like you put yourself on display a lot. And as somebody who's like, I guess now trying to go into like content creation and showing my face a bit more, like that's a bit unnerving. Like I literally thought like 2 days ago, because I was filming a video, I don't know how Anna does this, right? That was literally my thought, because you're one of the only people I know.
Would you believe, like, this is still very terrifying for me?
What? You've been doing it for years?
So every time I also have to film a podcast episode, like there's still so much fear. I'm like, okay, I have to put on this camera. I have to do this. Like, what am I going to talk about?
You do a good job, like, because I saw.
And people hate. People hate. I am sure people hate to film with me, because like the other day, well, not the other day, but like last year, I had to film this thing. But I can't talk about the project. But like, I had to film this thing, right? And I had to learn off scripts. But like last minute, we had to change the scripts and stuff. And I was given so much trouble. I kept looking at the camera. People are like, "Y'all, we're gonna be here all night." Like, this is so nervous for me. And they were like, "Oh, make yourself comfortable." I'm like, "Okay, the shoes need to go." So I was standing barefoot, and they were like, "Oh no." I was like, "You don't get my feet right." Like, I need to be comfortable. That's the only way I can do it.
And I mean, I think you can look at it a different way. To me, that's star power. Once you're not like a brat about it. No, I remember, you ever watched The Face? No, with Naomi Campbell. So it has this really cool scene. It was The Face Australia, right? And the models had to like pose with a phone. And this girl was like, "I need to take off my shoes." And Naomi Campbell was like, "Why do you need to take off your shoes?" Anyway, long story short, she like did a bunch of stuff with the phone and she won. She won it, right? And Naomi Campbell had to give her props, right? And she's like, "But next time, maybe don't take off your shoes."
Look, my shoes are too strictly.
Yeah. So I think that's like star power. Like I think if you know that you could deliver a certain thing and you need this level of comfort or these things to deliver what they're looking for, what is needed, I don't think there's a problem asking for that. I just think it's how you do it.
It's so wild because like at work, they like buff me up because I walk around barefoot. Like, so if I have an important pitch or an important campaign and stuff, shoes need to come off. My sitting position is the weirdest. Like, my boss is always like, "Anna, sit properly."
Yeah,
like, what's going on? And I'm like, "No, I need to be comfortable. That's the only way the idea is going to run."
Well, do that, and then when you have to put on your presentation face, put on your presentation face.
And I'll be like standing up under the desk with my shoes off, presenting.
No.
And then under the table.
Exactly right. Well, they can't see it, so it doesn't
On my
right?
wedding day, I probably might have shoes on.
Well, I mean, I can't say she does have shoes on now. It's
comfortable
shoes, though. But shoes nonetheless, you know.
So yes, tell us about your career.
Right. All right, cool. So I started all the way back in 2010, right? So my best friend, he and I went to school together, and he did art. So he had to do a photography project. And so he asked me to model for him. And I was like, sure, no problem. I always kind of had like an interest in fashion. So I was like, why not? And that really kind of started it. Like, he started photographing me and a couple other people in the school. And then it just kind of expanded. We wanted to take the shoots bigger. Like, at that time, like, social media really wasn't that much of a thing. So what we would see of ourselves, I guess, was very limited. And so we wanted to bring a more youthful perspective on that. So we would like shoot in maybe unconventional places, like not just bush or like to get flora and fauna. Like, we went to the streets, we went to the treasury and stuff like that. And so as other people wanted to work with him, I started to style. So I remember Caribbean Posh magazine reached out and we did about 3 or 4 articles with them.
That's huge.
Yeah, that was a big deal. And we were like, what's going on here? Christopher Nathan reached out to work with Naomi Chinwing, and then that's how I got the Flair fashion shows, and then I went on to Style Week, styling. I worked with other designers, and then I always had an interest in design because, well, my father is He is a designer. He doesn't design anymore,
Oh, wow.
but he is. So I grew
So
up.
it's in the blood.
It's in the blood, right? Well, my last name is Lovelace, so I do come from a creative family. But growing up, he used to design carnival costumes. So he worked with Peter Minchell, Brian McFarlane, and stuff like that. So we have like this hallway at home. And what he would do is like clear the hallway, take down all the paintings, and then he would project onto the wall, and he would like sketch the carnival costumes. And I remember it was kind of annoying because the hallway would lead to the bathroom, so you could not pee. So pee before.
Because he didn't even love it.
Yeah, and because you would like obstruct the frame or whatever. So I remember one like just standing looking at him, like literally take this blank wall and make something come to life from it. And because I was the last child, like, you know, they always have to like drag you everywhere. So if he's going to the studio and mommy can say about me, I'd have to go to the studio and smell like the paint they would put on.
No.
Yeah, so I'm just there. But like I'm naturally very observant. So I guess I always like took in those things. And then another inspiration of mine I remember was the Victoria's Secret fashion shows, right? So this one specifically.
That used to be my favorite.
It's so cool, right? The fantasy, like what they could do with like humans walking.
Once upon a time, I thought I would have gotten wings.
Like actual, like Victoria's Secret wings.
Yes.
Why can't it happen now?
I'm
Why
not. No. You want my father to kill me?
I mean,
That's why he draws the line, okay?
Yeah.
That's why he's like, that's why I was never a band launch girl. Or like I never did bath suits. That was one thing when I came into this industry. He was like, you're gonna have like respect for yourself. The other day I did a shoot and it was like a strapless dress, and he was like, all your boobs outside, your chest outside, like people would think bad of you and your image and your reputation. And I'm like, Dad, it's not that deep.
Yeah.
You know, but that's where he draws the line.
Okay, I see. But not even for Victoria's Secret check though.
Hard luck.
No. Okay.
He'll say, is your reputation really worth it?
Okay. But you could be like a correspondent though. A Victoria's Secret correspondent, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind working in the production side of it.
I think you'll
that'd
be good
more
at
fun.
it. Yeah. And I think like you're a little bossy sometimes, so I can see
when
you,
I'm
like,
in work mode, I'm super bossy.
So I can see
My
like,
mom hates that. That's one thing she will tell you. She absolutely hates when she have to work with me. She's be like, tone it down a bit. I'm telling your mom. I'm like, it's just your boss and me. Sorry.
I know, right? And you know what you want, so come on, man.
Correct.
Keep up or get out, you know? But yeah, so I used to see him doing that. So that like sparked an interest, and then the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I stumbled upon it by accident. I remember I was watching a show with my family, and they all got up. And I just sat there, I was like, well, I guess I'll just watch what's on next, right? And it was 2005, I'll never forget it. There was like this carousel, and it was a Christmas theme thing. And I was like, what is this? And Giselle Bundchen walked out, that was Tyra Banks' last show. And so I was like, oh. And yeah, it all came to a head. Like I always had an interest in fashion, as I said. So while I was doing like styling and working behind the scenes in production, I started to learn to sew. And I made like my first blazer was like 2016.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You went for a blazer of all things?
Yeah, I'll send you the picture.
Damn. We'll put the picture up.
Yeah, it's CUNT. It's so good. And then 2017 or 28, no, 2017, early 2017, I did a wedding dress for...
You just pulling all the hardest things. You know, some people might say like a batsuit
something,
or a top.
A little square
We
fit,
went for a blazer to a wedding dress.
Yeah, I was just like, I don't know, my sister's friend was like, hey, can you make my wedding dress? I was like, what's the wedding dress? And I'll also send you the picture.
We'll insert it here.
Yeah, and I was like, I think I could do this. But it was way harder than it looked because the lace down here didn't match the lace that she wanted. So what I had to do, I had to get mesh and then get lace and then cut the lace and then sew it onto the mesh to strategically match the lace that she wanted.
A wedding dress.
A
What?
wedding dress.
I am so proud of you.
A wedding dress. Thank you.
That's the
thank you.
level of confidence I want to have.
Yeah, like, and that's the thing, right? Like, I was always very confident and believed in my vision. I feel like I kind of got derailed a little bit along the way, but I feel like I'm back at it now. So
I think we all have our pockets of like discouragement sometimes, but I think those are great, like I told you, because it kind of makes us appreciate like where we are at that current moment.
that's so true, yeah.
Because sometimes I think we take for granted when things are going all well and fine, like oh my gosh, but then like when you have that low period, when you actually get that high after, it's like yeah, it's worth it in the end. Like, this is why I'm doing it.
Yeah, I'm finally back. Yeah. You feel a little bit more galvanized. That's
and like
well
motivated on stuff overall.
Yes. So that's where I'm at now, because like 2020 to 2021 was a bit of a rough period. But yes, let me finish my story about my journey.
Yes.
So that's how I started doing those things, and I was like, I think I could really give this a shot. I did like a very, very small collection, I would say. It was just 3 pieces. My friend shot it, my same photographer friend. It went over well. And then I was trying to think about one, if my perspective would be appreciated in this fashion market, because it's less resort and less beach, a little bit more street, a little bit more urban. And then 2, how I was going to make that into a viable career and how I was going to make it sell, right? And and then in 2023 actually, I was like, you know what, like, you've always wanted to do this, just get up and do the damn thing. And so I did my first like small collection in 2023, shot it in 2023, and it was released in 2024 in 36 Cornelio. I just was like, hey guys, I have like these pieces, can I show it to y'all? And they were like, sure. And I remember like I was sweating bullets because it was the 2 owners of the store. They were like, come into a meeting, right? So I was like, what am I
They
going?
have a lot of big brands there and like well-known designers and artists.
I was like walking and seeing mailing on this right hand side, Anya, and I said, literally, I had thought, what am I doing here? So I was like, well, I just, I made this, and I made this, and I thought this was cool. And they were like, okay, we really like it. And then I remember Chandel said, she's one of the owners of the store, she's like, so what do you want out of this? And I hadn't thought about
like that far.
Yeah. I was just like, well, if they like it, maybe it'll end up in store. And I said, I had to like think on the spot. I was like, what do I want? And I was like, okay, I can only replicate so much. So I was like, I just need a space in your store for 2 weeks. And it was like 10 pieces. And at the end of the 2 weeks, like half of the collection sold.
Oh, that's
in like
amazing.
2 weeks. Yeah, and I was like shocked. I was like, they're gonna sell me the sales sheet. Nobody's gonna buy it, nobody's gonna care, right? Because I'm a smaller brand. And then like they sent me the sales sheet. I was like, I'm not looking at the sales sheet. I don't want to be disappointed. And then Emma, who's the other owner of the store, she messaged me. She's like, hey, your pieces went over really, really well. We want you like in the store. We want to give you like a long-term contract. And it was like, are you kidding me? Like, it was like literally a dream come true. And yeah, now I had to take a little break because, production and stuff like that. But I'm officially like back in the store long-term now. And I feel really proud of myself.
That's amazing. So Kambe, while we're on that topic, what inspire your designs? Or like, does it like any artists influence you?
I think so. I do have some artists that influence me. So, but it's more so like their journey or like the way they create. So, like locally, Peter Minshall, I think like the kind of movement he was able to capture with materials that are kind of rigid, like metal and stuff like that, like Tantan and Saga Boy. I know we talk about that a lot, but to see those things move, they really look like they're whining, right? Like, and even the the inflaty men and stuff like that, like that imagery of fun mixed with like just those materials is like really interesting to me. So Peter Minshall, definitely. I like internationally Thierry Mugler. I like his perspective and his approach to creating, as well as Alexander McQueen. Like, what I appreciate is craftsmanship and a perspective, right? So if you're telling a story, like through clothing, that's one thing, but what the fit is, you're supposed to be able to get that through your artisanry, or whatever, if that's a word, right?
I think that is a
that
word.
Okay, good. I did go to school. I do have a degree.
I'm the worst person to ask if that's a word. I make up my own words as I go.
All the time, right? So, yeah, so those people inspire me. But, like, in terms of, like, other inspirations, I'm usually inspired by, like, every day. So, I was born and raised in Trinidad, but like I didn't go to the beach all the time, and I wasn't like relaxing. It wasn't a relaxing time for me. I come from a very working class family, so what I would see around me is like people getting up and going to work every day, and maybe they'll go out on Saturdays. Like the first semblance of like going out, I remember it's like my sisters hiding to like put on the pom-pom shorts and the crop top, so and running out so my father wouldn't see, and like that's what I kind of saw. So like what that brought, like not coming from a lot of money necessarily, coming from like a more industrialized part of Trinidad, like people had to be a bit more resourceful. So if you had a jean, like what are the multiple ways you could wear this jean?
Correct, agreed.
You know? So I'm inspired by that. So like if I work in Port of Spain, so if I'm in Port of Spain, I'd look at like how different women or men wear their jeans, how they wear their work uniforms and stuff like that. So the first collection I did was made out of bandanas. Like bandanas are an accessory, people wear it in their pockets, they might put it as like around their neck, they use it to wipe their face and stuff. So it's like, what if we make full outfits out of bandana as well as denim? Because like we wear denim all the time, right?
Denim is just trending right now.
Right, so it's like, what's my take on that, right? So I was like, what if we make like a full bandana skirt?
How many bandanas did it take?
So this is 4 bandanas. So
Dang.
yeah, so this is 1, 2 to get this design here, and then 3,
Because stitching
4.
and stuff would have had to like be important. Can I feel it?
Yeah, sure, you can feel
Oh
it.
wow, it's such great quality.
Yeah, and you can feel the inside. So the inside is like a silk satin lining.
Oh wow.
So you don't get like the cottony feel.
You know what? Next time, make it reversible.
Oh God. Okay, that's true.
Because
Yes.
you can wear it like this,
Yes,
and
right.
then
The other way
Yeah.
around. Okay, I never thought of that. Yeah.
that
Yeah.
should be your next.
Yeah. my
Nobody
next
can
project.
steal this idea, okay?
This is Anna coded. Yeah.
When we come, we get taken. But oh, I love it. I really
Yeah.
love it.
So
It's
like
cute.
it's very very cute, and I like the like little 100% cotton. Like yeah, it's actually made out of like actual bandanas that I go and source locally.
Wow.
So yeah, so 4 bandanas make up this skirt.
And do you sew everything yourself, or you have a team?
Yeah, so I have a small team now.
Okay, perfect.
Before I sewed, so my first collection I sewed everything myself. Yeah, for these stores and stuff, I sewed everything myself.
And this was your first collection.
Yeah, this was my first collection, so I'm actually bringing it back for this summer/Java because I have another collection in 36 Cornelio right now that's currently selling, but they specifically asked for this because it sold so well, and I think
It's different. Yeah, to see something like this. And then also because of the colors, you can mix and match different things. So you
you
can wear like a
want.
white tube top, a black, a red.
yeah, thank
Dress
you.
it up, dress it down. I really like it.
Yeah, so and it comes in, well, right now red and blue, and I think I'm looking to add light blue as well. So this is one, and then this is the male version to it.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, so it's
How did you even do this?
okay. So yeah, I made everything myself.
Oh, it's such great quality.
Yes, thank you.
And I love that you have the pocket to the back.
Yeah.
Oh wow, and even inside, y'all, I don't know if y'all could see, but the inside actually has to. How long did it take to make this?
So a pants could take about a day. Like if I'm
Wow.
just drafting, cutting, sewing, like probably about a full 8-hour day. But now that I have assistants, we could bring it down to about a half a day. Because I could draft, they could cut, and then I could.
I
just
would
sew.
wear this.
Oh, for this, well, this
Yeah.
is male, you know. This is not
I
female.
know, I have been wearing like
male?
dad jeans and
You're your dad jeans, are
boyfriend
Is
jeans.
that
Yeah,
because
I
you're
am.
twinning too? Taylor?
Yeah, I
So-
am. I don't
No.
really like skinny jeans
Anymore.
anymore.
Well, they are a little bit uncomfortable.
Have you not seen how big these pants are for me?
I did notice that, but it wasn't my business to see,
You
right?
should have been like, Anna, what's going on?
With your pants, well, we're in your studio, so you're comfortable,
Yeah,
you know?
no, I am very comfortable with pants
Yeah.
from. My mom hates it, but I will throw on a mom or dad jeans or boyfriend
And
jeans.
keep it pushing, right? But like when you have to get in and out of cars, you have to run into a store, you don't want this thing
I
restricted
think
you,
it's
right?
age getting to me.
Yes, exactly.
I'm
'cause it-
interested like a mom.
but you're not a mom yet. That's the thing.
Hello.
But no, you turn it out because I
Because
saw.
this you could wear with like a nice heels and like a top like this and a blazer.
I did not. I was so focused on it being male that I
Yeah.
just didn't think of that.
I am in this era, so like I would have like paired this with like a nice belt to like cinch my waist, and then like a top like this to
I
give
can
me
see
like
it.
that slim fit
Zoop,
to the
zoop,
top, and
yeah.
then like heels to like make it higher,
Yeah.
or like some sneakers.
I like it. I like the vibe. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in this era.
Well, okay. Okay, I should have bought that for you.
Yeah, I'm in the study era.
There, okay. There's gonna be an Instagram handle, Anna the Daddy.
Call me that.
No.
Yeah, it's comfort.
That's comfort, okay. But yeah, and well, these are the female jeans.
But those are also nice too. See, like you see, it's not like too fitted, so it gives you that, and then this bagginess.
Yeah,
I love it.
gives you the flare, and like the denim I chose, like I wanted a sturdy denim, but not something that's like too heavy, so that if you're in the sun, you're like your feet are hot or your legs are hot. I distinctly have this memory of my friends saying, you know, I hate wearing jeans. It's always so hot, you know. So
That's why I don't like skinny jeans too.
Because it captures the warmth, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like clingy fitted
things, yeah. And I think the era for that is over. Like y'all
skinny jeans are back in style.
Again?
They have just declared it's back in
Who
style.
declared that? Who said
So I
that?
pulled out all my skinny jeans and I was like, Mom, they still fit. They're slightly big, but like it fits.
But who said that?
I don't know.
I don't
Somebody
know.
who hates your mom and dad.
Yeah. It's like,
said,
these have got
Bring
to
these
go.
skinny jeans back.
Immediately. Yeah, I don't know. I never liked skinny jeans either. I find like sometimes too, like it used to make like your ankles look like real small, like certain people's ankle. And
So
that is
because of that, I roll mine up.
okay, good.
I always expect and flooded my skinny jeans.
You have to cross a flood to leave home.
Yeah.
But well, okay, good for the skinny jeans girls, I guess.
Yeah.
There's a job for me
I
still.
mean, I still wear it sometimes.
Well, you dress it up though. I think you're fun. Like you make it work.
Sometimes, like when my jeans are the jeans go so much, I like to fall back to it now.
Pull out these good old faithful.
But I prefer mom
Okay.
and dad jeans.
That's good
These
to
are
know.
really nice too because it gives you like that fitted but like flared to the
Flare,
bottom.
fit
Because
and flare.
bottom jeans are back in style.
I saw that, so I was like, let's do that. And then like I'm obsessed with the stressing. So like below is like distressed too. So it has the flare, but it's distressed. So you get that like flow of breeze, and it's also like makes it a little bit more cool and street. So yeah. But I also have another collection in 36 Cornelio, and it was inspired by like workwear. So well, we do
Is
this.
this part of your collection? Because I really love this.
No, this is my father's blazer. It can't fit him anymore.
wow.
So I don't know if it could have ever fit him, but I stole it.
You need to make like these.
These?
I
Well,
would so totally be like, I need all.
All?
Give me all.
well, talk about needing. I actually brought a
That
gift
like in a
for you.
waistcoat. Love it. Oh, you bought me a gift. I'm excited.
So
Can I
here.
open it?
Yes, you can open it.
Sorry,
you
we're
can open
having a little intermission where we open a gift. Oh, I
can
love your
open it.
branding on your bag.
Thank you very much.
So when somebody purchases, like they get it in a box and stuff like this?
No, those are special orders, but when they purchase from the store, they'll
It's
get
so
it in a bag.
nice.
Yeah.
In a Kambe bag?
Yeah, and I can't be bad.
I don't
Your
wanna
official. Yeah, open it, girl. Open it. I did
wanna
stick it
damage
up.
it. Ah!
No, open it. Open it.
I'm gonna break a nail.
You want me to help you?
Yeah, a little
Unless-
bit.
One thing.
Y'all, it's real fancy here, Price. When you were smaller, it had like magic boxes. Oh, wow. There's a cute little note that I will read after.
So yeah. You can.
Oh, I love this. Oh my goodness. So remember when you posted the white one? I had messaged you and I was like, I need
Need
one
one, yeah.
so badly. So you're doing it in black now?
Yeah, so black as well as midnight blue.
I can't wait to style this.
Well, I know I saw it and I was like, well, I'm surprised.
Because I could like dress it up for work.
Yes.
I could, oh my god, I'm going to show you how I style it with my mom jeans.
Okay, I love that. Send me the content. But yeah, I was like,
Oh my
if I
gosh,
knew you would have
thank
liked these
you.
too,
I love.
I would have brought these for you as well. But
So is this selling in?
yes, 36 Cornelio as well.
So this is your second collection?
Yeah, so that was my second collection that I released earlier this year. It was inspired by work culture, office culture.
That's why I asked you about the blazer, because I was
Right.
like, I remember you wearing like a blazer too for the launch.
For the launch, yeah. So that was also my father's suit that
I think you need to like, I
Yeah.
love suits. So this picture here, everything is from you.
Yeah, everything is from me.
Okay, I don't know if y'all could see.
Two
Okay.
styles. So there's like
She
the
did a
oversized
crop.
shirt and a crop. So the crops are still available, and there are some blue oversized, some black oversized. So it's like midnight blue.
Next Fashion Friday is going to be how to style that. I'm excited.
Yes. Okay,
I have
great.
some ideas already in my head.
Well, I'm excited to see it. I had a mind you would have liked it. So
Yeah, thank you.
you're welcome. You're welcome. Let me give you a quick hug. Yes.
So while we're on that, right, tell me what it's like being in this industry. You had any challenges? What's your pits and your peaks?
What's my pits and my peaks? Okay, is that your brand?
No.
Like, no? Oh, okay. I thought you were
still remember
trademarking that. Okay, that's okay, that's okay. So the challenges, right?
Instead of highs and lows, pits and peaks.
Peaks? I like that. It's catchy. You should own that now. I think.
I'm sure somebody else will own that.
No, not according to Anna, right? You invented the word pit, you invented the word peak. Anyway, so I think like the industry is developing, but it's like really interesting, right? Because I feel like unless you like create your own online store and you have like a huge presence, like there isn't many places for local designers to go. So for example, Posh Collections and 36 Cornelio are some of the only places really we could house our designs. I saw another place open recently, but that's fairly new as well. So it's like, we don't have we have fashion shows and we have fashion events, but like typically like a fashion show, it would be for media coverage, yes, but also for buyers to come to preview collections to see what they want to buy for their stores. And we don't have much of that, right? So when we create, we also have to try to get it out there, try to get people to purchase, as opposed to doing marketing for advertising. You're doing marketing for sales as well, and that's a lot on a smaller brand and a smaller person who would have a smaller team, but in terms of the peaks, I do think we have a wealth of creativity down here. To see even batik dyeing, I mean, it's insane to me, right?
What is that?
So batik dyeing is tie dyeing, but it's done with wax and stuff, so it doesn't really wash out, and you could do it on clothing, you could do it on upholstery fabric and stuff like that. It's I'm not sure where it was invented, but I know it was done a lot here in the past, and there's a brand called Ben & Kareem there.
Okay, I didn't know that's what they use.
Yeah, so if you ever get a chance to check out their stuff, it's up close, so vibrant, Anna. It's insane.
Because I've seen them pop up and stuff, but I don't think I've ever seen it in person.
In person? If you go to 36, a lot of there, I think they still have some stuff there. So yeah, and I mean, we have so that's what I would say is some of our peaks, our creativity. And I think there's beyond just that, there's a want for more local designers. I just don't think that it is as accessible for everybody, because of that. I would love personally if let's say UTT is having, because I think they're having their fashion show coming up. By the time this is out, it would have gone, I think, right? But let's say a 212 and a Detour and a Francis Fashion, if they would come and just pick up 2 designers, 10 pieces, that will go a long way for us as local designers.
Question, because I think also the stereotype with local designs that people are it's so expensive. They don't want to even though they want to support local, it's so expensive for one piece. But I don't think they realize it's more to that.
Yes, there is 100%, right? Because we can't the scale at which we're producing, right? When we won't be able to produce on a scale that's Prada or even Zara and stuff. So that carries up our cost. And then you're looking at craftsmanship, you're looking at the sourcing of materials, as well as the profit to make for yourself, to make the business sustainable. So that's why it's at times a bit more expensive. And I mean, even batik dyeing, right? That's a hard skill. That takes days, to do and to master as well, and to do properly, I should say. So that adds to the cost. But I think too, if we look at it more, we have a lot of good quality stuff down here. For example, the cloth, their stuff is generally more the expensive luxury side for local fashion, but when you get the cloth piece, you can quality. Give it to your children, give it to your grandchildren, Side note, I also styled for them. Anyway, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, so so that's what it is. So I think also if we look at it not from a fast fashion perspective, where it's I just want this thing to go on, but I can invest in a locally designed piece that will last me for a while. For example, these, how long do we have bandanas for? Some people have bandanas for years, right? So even this bandana skirt, this could last you a good couple
we accessorize for carnival with bandanas, but then after that you don't really see the hype around
it. Exactly. So yeah.
Tell me, what are the challenges you had as a designer?
Okay, so I guess my challenges were, I don't think I have a lack of creativity. Like my brain is always going, not to like toot my own horn or anything, right? But yeah, anyway, so like I saw that first thing and I was like, a little mini skirt, choo-choo, and you're good to go. So my brain is always working like that, right? But like, I guess for me...
And just for context, guys, he's talking about my pillow.
Yeah, I was like, what if we just got the pillow, make it a mini skirt?
I mean, hey, I can send it to you. I kind of make a rug out of one of the pillowcases, like bursting open.
That's a pillowcase?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. Okay, I thought it was just like a mat.
No, I burst the pillowcase.
And you're like, this is a rug now.
This is a rug.
Okay, that's cool. You see? But yeah, anyway, so I don't, like my brain is always working like that. But the difficulty for me is, one, like finding like the balance in everything. So managing the creative side, managing the production, managing the marketing, managing the relationship with stores, managing the relationship with clients. Like that's like a full suite of things that is on one person. And well, now I have an assistant. So 2 people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, and things will end up falling by the wayside. And me, just as a person and a brand owner now, like, it adds another layer of like, wow, am I really cut out for this? Am I good enough to do this when like I can't complete a task properly? But then I have to look at it from the outside, right? Which is like, I and my one little person are like doing this thing, trying to make this happen, right? So I have to give myself some leniency. So that's like one thing that I've kind of like, a difficulty that I've been experiencing. And then I think too, like, for us, right, like there's a lot of potential, I think, to have like even like most of our regional market, but to get like the investment to go there and to have that is seeming a bit more difficult, right? Because let's just say, for example, Central St. Martin's, which is a fashion school in London, right? Right. So they will, like, for example, before the Queen died, like she would attend like the show, she attended a fashion show there and stuff, and they will like from there be able to get investors. So they'll say, oh, this is a very creative person, let's give them some money, let's see what they could do, try to get them in stores and stuff like that. Alexander McQueen came from there, Richard Quinn came from there, you know. We don't really have that. So even although we have this school, and no shade to the school, I think the school is a great thing, right? But like to come out of there and then like have a viable career,
like what happens after,
right? And you know, a lot, like not everybody in this country comes from a lot of money. So let's say you have your 20,000 to invest to start with. That's still like making it like right to the edge for you to produce a couple pieces, then to get it in stores, you know.
And so, I think that's why like people like Rome are now trying to do like these TV shows. So like Carnival Catwalk, for instance, gave that opportunity to like local designers. Well, I think I had like international designers in there too.
So too, yeah.
So it was like a mix, but I feel like we need more of that to help our local
push
designers.
Us, yes, a bit more. I concur. So that's what I would.
Because we talk about sustainability, we talk about trend, this, that, but then how are we actually supporting our local designers
to get them to that next level, right? I think so. And I think even if we can't start like internationally, because Europe and US and Asia, they already have their established markets, right? So I think like a greater regional collaboration where somebody from Bermuda can make stuff that is available in Trinidad and vice versa. I think if we start there and start creating like a fashion circuit there, then we could look at saying we as a collective in this space has this thriving industry now. Let's see how best we can push this even more out to the world. And from our perspective, not from somebody saying what you'll have is great, let me recreate it, you know. So I would like to see, I would hope to see a bit more of that.
Because we do that with Carnival, we do that with our mass bands, but you don't really see it outside of Carnival.
Exactly. And we have a lot to say. I mean, could you imagine a Fashion Friday from somebody who has made a shirt in Bermuda, somebody who made a pants in Jamaica? Like, it helps everybody because you're in this space to have other people who want to get in this space. Even the like reporting, like in Style magazine is a whole thing which talks about style in the US and Europe. Like it gives space for fashion journalism, you know. It expands fashion photography, even more styling, production teams who might have to work on fashion shows, you know. So like I think if we think about it like that, then it creates like a proper system that could feed all of us and we could then put back into it and it develops from there. Yeah.
And it's so interesting because recently I had someone else on the podcast and we were talking about local designers helping like pageant queens because it also helps put them on the market. So I think it needs more collaboration there. Like we need more collaboration with our soca artists, things like that, where we actually like recognize our local designers. Because there's a lot, and it doesn't only go like from outfits, but it goes like jewelry, it goes like shoes. Like there's so much that nobody really taps into. It's an industry that is kind of very undermined. And then also you tend to see that people just like basically, I guess, I can't find the word I'm looking for, but they go more to the designers that they're comfortable with. That's well known, that's been existing, that's marketed properly, versus actually venturing out and like, oh, there's a new local designer called Kambe. Let's check out his design. Let's support him.
Yeah, I agree. And you know, I've like reached out to a couple of people who I was really inspired by, because I'm really inspired by our music artists, because that is also a difficult industry to break into. And so I was like trying to approach like Dashtra, Nyla, but like smaller people, and like even they didn't really like they didn't bite like I hoped that they would, because I no shade to them also, right? But I saw the opportunity, like we're both trying to start up this thing, like we could help each other here, you know? And it kind of seemed like they were also fishing for, you know, a bigger name, which is fine. Like, I'll get there. I'm not upset about that. But, like, I think you're right about that thinking and people not really understanding the power of it and what could come from it. And it has to start somewhere. It's not going to start from the top.
Correct, because at the end of the day, like, someone wouldn't wake up one day and was, like, big.
True.
Like they were small.
Yeah.
So like if you look at Delia Allen, if you look at Charu, if you look at Siobhan, like they all started out somewhere and like somebody believed in them and then it just like took off.
Took off from there, right? Exactly. Yeah, I agree.
So I think it also falls on us that we need to support our local people
a bit more. I agree too. And I mean, I understand also twofold sometimes.
And again, it doesn't only go for like stylists. It doesn't only go for like designers. It goes for like even our music artists.
Exactly. Like, cause I mean, respectfully, like Young Brother, right? Like he's a big deal now, but like before when he's making his little TikToks, people like clowning him. You know, he didn't really have. It didn't seem like he had that availability, but because of his viral moments, he was able to get that.
But again, we love to just jump on what's trending now.
That is true. You know, and
so we are at fault 100%.
100%, and I think too, like, you know, we also need to look at who are the people in charge of certain things, or like the gatekeepers, because sometimes they aren't necessarily the most pioneering, you know, or at times the most nurturing to new things and new people. I would say that I've honestly been, throughout my career, very, very blessed, because like, I mean, I've told you about some of the opportunities. Like, I just contacted 36 Cornelio, and they, you know, and as well as when Christopher Nathan employing me at 22 to do this big thing.
I also think that Christian Nathan has helped a lot of us in this industry.
That is true, because he impacted both of us, right?
Yeah, because just that simple interaction for that Westmore show was, I think, the first time I ever met him. Before that, I worked with Kirk.
Oh, Thomas.
Yeah, so I was when I did Face It TNT, and then the pageant never like really felt like happen because of budgeting issues and stuff. But I worked with him there, and I worked with Christian Nathan, and you know, I thought Christian Nathan wouldn't have remembered me. Like, again, just being a dot out of like all these people. But then when I did Miss World and I reached out to him, he's like, sure, like I'll help coach you. Like, I'll meet you tomorrow at Hyatt. So let's do this training.
That's cool.
And I think based on that, and he didn't ask for money, he didn't ask for recognition. And I think that left a huge like impression on me, because up to this day, I would say, man, I will hear them out.
Yeah, and like that,
and he would remember.
Exactly, and that's what we need, you know. Like, I find that sometimes it's it's a bit resistant to new people, and that's not just me talking as a designer. That's me also talking as like a stylist and somebody who has worked behind the scenes as well before. Like, you really have to like find your way in.
Again,
you know?
like I told somebody, it's really just marketing.
Yes.
how you market yourself. Because you could have a huge skill, you could have a talent, you could have the great product, but if you don't know how to market yourself, and this goes for anything, this goes for jobs, this goes for opportunities. Like if you don't market yourself and you just sit in your room with this talent, nobody's gonna find you.
True. Nobody's even looking for you.
Correct.
You know?
Like if you don't try to stay relevant yourself, nobody's really gonna take you on.
That's true.
And it's sad, but like it's just the truth.
It's where we're at today. That's very true. Yeah.
So you could keep saying like, oh, I have this product, it's so affordable, but if you don't put that investment behind it, so yeah, we talk about brands, but we do talk about like marketing yourself. It's a whole other part of it.
And that's why like I'm trying to like put myself out there more, because I've noticed that, and it's like, okay, I think other than my brand and the things that I'm creating, like people need to know a little bit more about me as well, and to appreciate the brand a bit more. And I think like that's kind of a lesson I learned from you, because I remember when you were doing the Haagen-Dazs thing, not the Haagen-Dazs thing, because
I did that for like 2 years.
For 2 years, right? And like, I mean, it's not like I was stalking you, but I respectfully had to keep track of your content because we were like on a brand together. And I just remember like saying, I like Haagen-Dazs, but I felt like through your post, I got to know a little bit more about Haagen-Dazs, and that's because I kind of knew who you were in a way. So I
tried to merge the two brands so people
together,
could connect with the brand. Because again, people saw Haagen-Dazs as this high-end brand. They would never really either probably not feel represented by the brand, or the first brand they would go to in the supermarket, they go to something more affordable. So like I tried to marry the two concepts. Like if you do have this product, these are the million things you could do with it.
Exactly. Because you
like
make
here,
smoothies.
this an ice cream, me eating it, and everybody was doing that. That's what everybody was doing.
Right.
So I tried to like really marry the two, between fashion, between lifestyle, just so everybody kind of felt connected to the brand.
Exactly. And yeah, it like gave your perspective as a Haagen-Dazs consumer, and like I kind of kept that in the back of my mind, like going into like speaking about myself more, my journey more. And yeah, I'm like, people have to get to know me a bit more to know my brand a bit more, because realistically, like I'll be honest, like this is kind of like what I want to do going forward, or I hope to do at least. I mean, I do have a 9 to 5, and please don't see this and think I'm trying to,
Yeah, no.
That's not the case
We all
at
have
all.
the 9 to 5s.
That's not the case
If there's one thing you'll take away from this, we all have the 9 to 5s, and we hustling on the side.
Exactly, and it's a lot of work, you know. But yeah, so I get the marketing thing, but I would say though that I'm seeing that like a little bit more receptiveness than I guess I initially saw, like throughout my years, and even like people's approach to creating or what their concepts of fashion is. Because I said like before, I found it to be very resort down here and like very beach and stuff. And like now I'm seeing like more street style, people are being more outwardly urban, even like goth and stuff. And
I think now we're in a generation where a lot of people have tapped into their style.
Yes.
And I think it also has to do with parents now allowing their kids to like express themselves style-wise.
Yeah, I would agree with that, yeah. And I, like, thank God for TikTok too. I mean,
and TikTok has a huge part to play in it now.
Come on, TikTok, yeah. I mean, although they're tracking our eyes and what we see and stuff, but
at least they're like pushing people to find themselves and their identity in their style.
Their niche, yeah. That's one prop I would give social media. Because I remember like Me Too kind of came out of social media. Body positivity came out of social media. So there are its positives there.
Okay, so how do you troubleshoot any problems that you face?
Well, one, I need to give myself time to troubleshoot. So I found that I like encountered a lot of like I guess silly problems the first time I created my collection. So I created it with very specific timelines. The shoot is going to be done here, this is when production is going to be done, and then it's going to get into stores. But I didn't account for like maybe encountering some fitting issues with the models. You know, like photography might take longer for the editing the photos.
You should know these things.
I should, right? And that's what I've been kicking myself up about. Because I'm like, I've been this.
You style a million models. You've been on shoots. You've been a creative director on shoots.
Exactly, right? And it's just like, I really did want to say, Kambe, you dumb. ITCH, like, you know this, right?
It's age, we forgot something.
True, because you know I'm in my 30s now. So, but, yeah, so in terms of troubleshooting, I found just like giving myself time, like I added like a 2-week period to everything that I had to do. So production, add 2 more weeks. So even if I finish before, I'm finished before, right? So that is 1. 2, like I feel like, dare I say, in terms of like crafting and creating, I've generally like mastered that. But like in terms of like photo shoots, I prefer to have like at least 2 or 3 touch bases before we go to the photo shoot. So we understand the concept, we understand the storyboarding and whatnot, and we also understand what we need on the day, so that when we're there, it's not nobody didn't think of this, who didn't do this, who didn't do that. Okay, so I really want to get into digital pattern creating, but I don't have the printer for that right now.
Okay.
So for me, right now, like, it's like typical software. So like to find inspiration or to put together mood boards, I'll use like Pinterest and stuff like that. If I have to edit any videos myself, it's honestly CapCut, the free, lovely.
It's been saving everybody.
Saving lives. Give me the free CapCut. Give me the free Canva.
I'll actually talk about that the other day. Like,
and you talk about it in your
content
interview.
creating has made it so much easier that now we don't even need to invest in these intense softwares. These softwares are readily like available. So using software is not an excuse, no.
Exactly.
Take that one off the list.
Take it off the list, right? So yeah, so the only thing I want to really invest in right now is digital pattern making. But right now I make all my patterns like by hand myself, and then I cut it out, and then I have my assistants, they will like more cut it on the fabrics, and I will sew, and we like coordinate from there. So yeah, that's really it. And well, Instagram and social media to promote and stuff like that.
And how do you deal with like feedback? And
I love it, because I would say, like, you know, delving into the world of like designing specifically, like having dressed people and also dressing myself, I understood like some of the things that I would look for, but it's different, right? In terms of my sense of design, like sometimes I wouldn't, or in the past I have not accounted for certain things. So like in my first collection, I did like these bandeau tops, these bandana bandeau tops, and one of my friends said, these are lovely, and not everybody would wear them, yes, but maybe make them in stretch so that it will fit better on for more women.
yeah,
Right? And that's just, I just didn't like
think of that.
think of it. So now I'm like thinking more about like the quality of the fabric, what's better on the skin. So I love feedback. So any feedback, if you'll watch this and have feedback for me, send me a message, right? Because I want to know. So yeah, I'm generally, but like in marketing too, like in my day job and even as a stylist, you have to like receive feedback, because sometimes like you may push too far with a client and they'll have to tell you, you know, well, we would like this and this, but maybe we could change this a bit. So I'm generally not opposed to feedback. It's just how you give me the feedback. If you come in and say your thing is trash, then you don't know fashion, right? But
correct, because everybody's style is different.
it's different, right? But yeah, but if you have like a correction that you think I can make, hit me. I'm open to it.
And Kambe, before we wrap up, I love doing this with my guests. If there is somebody watching here, what are some words of inspiration? If someone wants to be like a fashion designer, just put themselves out there, like where do they start?
I think first start with understanding what it is you want to say and what it is you want to put out there. Because we all have, I think like a lot of us have a want to be seen, right? But in this landscape now where there's so much to see, what you say or what you are seen for is the thing that will resonate the most. So I think first start with that and then move on to how are you honing that to put it out there. Then take a deep breath, close your eyes and post the video or the content. And you'll see that generally that will go over well, even if it's a slow burn for a build. At least you know the people that are watching you or interacting with whatever it is you're doing are genuinely interested in it, and it's not like fake or like a vanity thing, you know. And it will help you in the long run with creating, feel even more comfortable creating. Yeah, so that's what I say. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Kambe, I wish you the best, and honestly, thank you so much for being
you're
here.
welcome.
If
Anytime
y'all
you call.
don't know, and y'all didn't catch my interview last year, Kambe's usually be the one asking me the questions, right? He's normally the one interviewing me, so I hope I did a good job.
You did. You really captured it, and it was very comfortable. I think if you want to be a TV host,
You'd be my first guest.
No, it's on camera, right? So now I have to be.
Production team, guess who my first guest is going to get him on the phone?
It's me, right? Hopefully I'm an even bigger designer then. So
You would.
Yeah, I think I have a good future ahead of
Honestly,
me.
my advice to you is just put yourself out there. Have big, crazy dreams. I mean, I have big, crazy dreams for
True.
myself every day. Like one day, I hope this goes on to like many of the series and maybe
You
on the
can.
television. But just put yourself out there.
Yeah.
Dream big. Some people might tell you like it's crazy and it's wild, but honestly, all you really need is yourself. Believe in yourself, and like that's half of where you need to be.
Thank you for that. And last, before we go, like I want to say too, the reason why like I like constantly work with you, other than your personality, like I've noticed the hard work. Like again, the previous brand that we kind of collaborated on, other than me recognizing you from the fashion show, like maybe every other day you would have tagged that brand. And as somebody again who didn't come from like a lot of money and understands the importance of hard work, I was like, this girl, regardless of whatever, isn't quitting, regardless of what people say, sick days, no sick days. And that's something that I would always like appreciate about you. As helter skelter, as it might be behind the scene. Like you do perform. You do perform, and I want to give you your kudos for that.
You. It
Because
means a lot.
yeah, I think it goes under the radar a lot of the time. So yeah.
I think one passion is there, success is inevitable. So once you have the passion, honestly, like don't give up.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you for your advice. I'm not going to.
Yeah, I hope to see like 1 million more collections. And just tell them if they're interested in getting your product, where they could reach out to you or where they could purchase.
Okay, so you can reach out to me at Kambe the Brand on Instagram or kambethebrand@gmail.com. And my latest collection is available at 36 Cornelio in Woodbrook and at Posh Collections in Grand Bazaar.
And you could probably just tell them what is like the price range like.
Yeah, so the mini skirts start at $350 and the jeans are all $550.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah, and exactly right. I think it's affordable for
It is.
being locally made
Yeah,
and
it
stuff
is.
like that. So yeah.
So yeah, be sure to check them out, guys. Once again, stay tuned for next week's episode. Bye.
Bye.